Hi, welcome to this week's video. It is about tan in a can. We are getting our self-tan on this week. This video is by request. A lot of you in the comments section from last week's video asked about self-tanning. What do you like? What works best for you? What are your best tips, tricks, and best practices? I thought, absolutely. I self-tan all the time, and I have a ritual that works for me, and I'm happy and eager to share that with you. What I'm really happy and eager to share is this. So you guys remember last week's video was the Lashify lash extensions. Okay, y'all, these guys have been on for 11 days. Not one of them has fallen out, not one. And here's the cool thing. So, you learn something new every day. Unlike lash extensions, which you have to take a spoolie and sort of comb them out, they get twisted and tangled. These guys stay perfect. I haven't had to comb, touch, do anything. So I am so happy to report that that was a total hit. So if that type of thing is your thing and you were wondering, how they would hold up, 10 out of 10. This is amazing. So anyway, on to tanning. I have a thing with self-tanners. I can't stand, I call it the S and the S, the stick and the stink. It makes me cuckoo. So I have really kind of honed in on a couple of products that I find dry very quickly, give me the right color, they're not sticky, they're not stinky, and they won't turn me orange. So we'll talk about those in just a minute, but let's talk about prep and just getting our skin ready for self-tanning. You've got to exfoliate, and if you're like me and you tan on a regular basis, here's what happens. Your tan will start to fade in a lot of areas, but it will stay in other areas. Generally, where our skin is most dry is where it sticks. So it's important to get rid of the excess tan before you start tanning again. So it's going to require exfoliating. And I just want to introduce to you some products. Actually, it's a product. I have another, and many companies make these. This one is by Rose and Caramel. It's called Purity Excel. Purity Excel is the fastest, most effective way to remove self-tan with a balanced combination of strong exfoliating properties and the key to self-tan removal ingredients for the fastest way to remove your tan. Proud to be paraben-free, cruelty-free, and vegan-friendly. So this one is quick. It says, apply to skin covering all areas that require self-tan removal. Leave on for 60 seconds, then gently buff away using wet exfoliating mitts in the bath or shower. Here's another thing that you can do. If you just have a little bit of tan left, dry brushing is fantastic. And it's also really, really good for circulation, by the way. I love to dry brush. So I may start with a little dry brushing just for all over exfoliating. Not every area of my body is going to have that excess tan. You'll notice that it likes to stick around in areas where we have like creases and folds, kind of the arm or the elbow, in here. And I will do my entire body with a dry brush. And then I'm going to apply this. Also make sure that you've got mitts like these. These are super exfoliating mitts. I love these in the shower just with my soap, and I will exfoliate there as well. So this is critical before you put on a self-tan. Okay, so that's all like pre-shower, pre-tan prep. So let's go ahead and put this on. So here's the consistency. It looks almost like mud in a way, and it's granular. It has exfoliating agents and properties in it, but it also helps to melt away. So let's see, my tan likes to stick around here up at the collarbone. I'm just going to exfoliate. Also the neck is another area where it'll get a little splotchy. Okay, a little bit in here, elbows, right in here. Shoot, at this point, I may as well just do my whole body. You can, it actually spreads pretty well. Another area is like right here, tops of knees and ankles and feet too. Just a nice, even, smooth surface. Okay, so I'm going to finish exfoliating and getting any residual tan off. I will then hop in my shower and I will do as it says, use my exfoliating mitts and shower with these and a moisturizing soap. We'll talk on the backside of the shower. Some products do recommend that you use a moisturizer, some don't, and we'll talk about where and how much right after this break. Freshly showered, shaved, and let me tell you something, it is so funny how you don't realize how much self-tanner you have left on you until it all goes away. And after using this with those mitts, and I rinse those mitts, and you could just see brown in the shower just dripping out of them. So yeah, there's still stuff left, and that's what leads to patchy and splotchy areas and just inconsistency with the tan and frustration and irregular fading and all of that. So just be diligent with removal. You'll just be happier with the process in general. So some tools that I really like to use for the face, I have a brush. This one is by Coco and Eve. You guys know, if you followed me for a while, I've used the Sunny Honey Bali Bronzing Foam. Great product. I don't have that one on me now. I'm going to introduce you to 2 new ones that I'm using. But you can apply a face self-tanner. Coco and Eve has one that is a spray, and you can use it with a brush. Again, my face is exfoliated as well. I didn't mention, but I did that last night. And if you have a cream, gel, whatnot, then you can get a little mitt, and oftentimes they will sell a big mitt with a little mitt. Little mitt is great for the face. This is really hard. It's too big. This way you can target it a little bit better. Coco and Eve sells this. This is genius, right? This is for the back. So if you don't have a husband who you have enlisted in this tanning project, you know, honey, can you come here and can you put this mitt on and foam it and get my back, and then make sure you get all areas, and don't, you know, be generous and spread it evenly. Right. Yeah. If you don't have that, you need this, because this will enable you to do, you'll be able to put the mousse in the middle, and then you can take it and go like this and get your whole back. See, that is cool. Now let's talk about product. My goodness, there are so many tanning products on the market, to each his or her own. Like I said, stick and stink, those are my requirements. Color also, I tend to go dark. I like the quicker processing ones. And I have actually found my 2 favorite self-tanners Instagram scrolling. Yep, the ads popped up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try you, and I have loved you. So who are they? The first one, and this is the one I'm going to use today simply because I have it, the other one I'm out of. Petitjean, and this is the dark tanning mousse. Now this one says apply on clean, dry, exfoliated skin. It says avoid moisturizer before application to ensure that the product absorbs and develops properly. I will put just a teeny tiny bit of moisturizer around really dry areas of skin of mine where I notice that tanning sticks. So grab your favorite moisturizer. This is Necessaire, the body lotion. And I will take the tiniest amount, like so, as almost like a barrier cream, right? And I'll hit my elbow because I don't want self-tanning to collect here. And again, in areas where we have wrinkles and folds, you know, of skin, it's going to want to hang out. And so I'm going to show you also some tricks in applying as well to make sure that you get an even spread of the product without it creating lines in areas that you don't want. I will put it here on the knee where, again, we might have the same issues, and just a little bit. Also, I will put it down at my ankles. My ankles are very dry, and I notice that a lot of product sits there, and the top of my feet. Again, just a little bit. Okay, the other product that I want to share with you that I am out of, which is why I can't demo it, but absolutely love it, is this one by Loving Tan 2-Hour Express Deluxe Bronzing Mousse in dark. This is for medium to dark skin tones. This stuff is wild. I mean, you want a dark tan? Holy guacamole. This Loving Tan 2-Hour Express, amazing. Both of these products are a mousse, which I like, over a cream. They dry. I find the couple of questions I get, can you put on clothes afterwards? Yes, you know, with the 2-hour, you can wash off after 2 hours. This one by Petitjean, you leave on about 6 to 8 hours. I have put this on in the morning and then have put on clothing over it. Now, I won't wear white. You know, I may wear something looser and darker in color, but I don't notice transfer. And color processing is great. The odor is palatable and the tan looks amazing. So we're going to do that. And then I've got this Loving Tan face tanner in dark, and I'm going to apply that as well. So let me just show you what this product looks like. So the Petitjean, you shake all of the mousse products, you'll shake. And okay, so it looks like that, right? And here's how it applies. Okay, trick for elbow, bend your elbow when you're applying so that you get it in all the skin. Don't do it like that because you're gonna miss some areas. Do it like that. Make sure that you run it on the inside of the arm. You don't want a white streak in here. Save the hand for last. Just use the residual on the top part of the hand, and then I'll kind of go around my fingertips, leaving the palm and going around. Okay, and then I will use this time to really, really spread. See, there's a line right here. Take it, pull it. Remember, we're going to get the back with that little device. I'll take just the residual up the neck. I will also use the one that I use on my face, on my neck as well, but just, you know, continuity. I'll do privately the chest area and the rest of me, but I just kind of want to show you already. You can see a color difference, right? So it's an instant color that will develop over time, and the color that it will develop into is beautiful. And I will show you as, you know, all of this processes. I'll come back in a couple of hours for you guys just so you can see the before and after. Okay, so let's just get this other arm. About that much. And just go slowly so you don't have mousse flying around everywhere, which can easily happen too. I do the same technique, by the way, with my legs. I will bend my knees while I apply to make sure that I get the product all in there. If you do it with your legs straight, you're going to notice the lines above the knee. One thing that needs to be mentioned, and I get asked this quite frequently, when you tan, is there any way to do it without spots and freckles getting darker? And the answer to that with self-tanning products is no, because it is making everything darker, which includes the lighter part of your skin and the darker part of your skin. So yes, sunspots, freckles, all of those will become more pronounced with a self-tanner. Now, what I recommend if you don't like that and you want an option, these days there are a lot of really cool body makeup products that are coming on the market that give you the look of a self-tan, but it's not processing on your skin. It's actually makeup, and it's waterproof makeup, smear proof, so you can put it on your entire body. I know a lot of people who've done that for special events, weddings and whatnot, if they don't want to do self-tanning, and they'll put makeup on their body and it will look like a tan, but it will cover everything. So you'll get that sort of smooth coverage and you will be blended in your dark. Sorry, my memory card ran out on me right as I was in the middle of telling you something. So look into body makeup, and I can do some searching and provide some links if maybe that's a route you want to go, if self-tanning just, you know, isn't your thing. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is just kind of demonstrate the back, and then I will take care of the rest of me and then circle back and show you how it processed. Again, I'm going to put the mousse right in here. Start with a little bit. You can always add more. See, and this way you can get your neck, upper back, do it at an angle, around your shoulders. Pretty cool, right? Oh, you know what? Let me do my face while we're at it. So I'm going to do this one by Loving Tan. This is face tanning serum in dark. Would you, I mean, can anybody read this? It's impossible. All right, application. Huh. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna wing it. I'm gonna use a little baby mitt. Okay, this one comes out dark. And again, I like because it's not sticky. Always start with a little. You can always build, right? Don't forget the earsies. Okay, Okay, and then bring it down on the neck. I don't add any more. I just, again, bring the remaining down. Kind of like what I did with the mousse up and then the face down. Okay, the mouth. Make sure you've gotten the full bridge of the nose. This one dries immediately. This is all dry, by the way. Okay, I'm going to finish up and I will circle back and let you know my thoughts and all of that. Alrighty, 6 hours has passed. I am still processing. Remember, this one by Petta Jane says it takes anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to fully develop. The minute I put it on, this tan dried immediately. I have not been sticky. 6 hours in, you can't smell it. I don't smell like I have the fake tan, but I am, as you can see, pretty even. Okay, you can see the color. Let me turn around so you can see the back. And at this point, what I want to do is share with you my top 15 tips for your best at-home self-tan. So the first step you saw in the beginning, for an even tan, exfoliate your body from head to toe. If you have a previous tan on, make sure you use a tan removal. Get it all off so that you're starting from scratch. After showering and exfoliating, make sure you apply an oil-free and a fragrance-free lotion. Remember, to those parts like the elbows, the knees, the tops of the hands, the ankles, the tops of the feet, where you know the product tends to really stick together and create dark patches. If you like a spray tan, as in a spray instead of a foam, make sure you tape the bottom of your feet. I know that sounds really strange, but when you spray, a lot of that residual tan tends to get on your floor. And if your feet aren't taped, guess what else is going to get a tan? Yeah, the bottom of your feet. This one seems like a no-brainer, but sometimes people forget, especially after a shower. But make sure you apply your tan in a cool, dry space. You don't want to start sweating when you're putting all this stuff on. To successfully apply tanner to your hands, and specifically the knuckle area, make your hands like a claw. That way you'll be able to get the tanner on the knuckle and around it, so it will fully cover instead of creating dark patches. And when applying tanner, for instance, to your arms, I always save the last little bit for the elbows, for the hands. You don't want a high concentration of tanner in areas where the product tends to stick. So make sure that is the finest coat of tanner for knees, elbows, hands, ankles, and feet. Now, hands are tricky. Let's get back to those. You can use a brush or a sponge really to get in and around the fingers, because the tendency is just to make a flat, straight line on the hand, and then you've got white in between your fingers. So make sure you're applying it in between and use whatever you have to, like I said, whether it's a sponge or a brush, to get all the product in there. Okay, the biggest mistake is after applying tanner, a lot of people will wash their hands. Well, guess what you've just done? You've removed all of that craft work on the top of your hands. I like to get a towel, get it wet, and then I will just rub and scrub the palm of my hands only, just to make sure I don't have tan there, but I do there. And sometimes we can get tanner on our fingernails and our cuticles, again, another area where it sticks and discolors. So it's a good idea to use a Q-tip or a cotton swab with a little bit of water and just work around that area to remove any residual tan. There is a little way to speed up the process too. If you're in a hurry, after you apply your tan, take your hairdryer, put it on cool and high speed, and just hold that hairdryer to you to help speed up the process. I talked earlier about the product creasing in certain areas like elbows and knees, or even the armpit area. A great way to help prevent that is to get talc-free powder with a big brush and just powder those areas. Just dip the brush in the powder, hit your elbows, hit your knees, hit your armpits. That will prevent that creasing in the lining from settling in. The number one complaint that I get all the time is my sheets turn brown. You know what? Go to your favorite retailer, get a cheap flat sheet in black, dark gray. That way your sheets are protected and it doesn't matter. You will never see the color. This one I learned the hard way. After you spray tan, be very mindful not to cross your legs or fold your arms, because if the tan isn't fully drying, you'll notice streaks from doing that. So make sure that nothing is touching. And last but not least is maintenance. Just use a very gentle, mild body wash and an oil-free lotion to be able to keep your skin hydrated and prolong your tan for as long as you possibly can. And those are my tips and tricks for self-tanning. I promised also to locate some products for those of you who don't want to do a self-tan again because of the freckles and the spots. I will be on the lookout for some body makeup that's getting some really good reviews as well. But everything that I've talked about and have shown you will be listed in the description portion below, so you'll be able to see the products that I've used, and I'll provide links if any of these are of interest. But I love myself a good summer tan. I don't lay out anymore. You know, we're all mindful and very careful about time in the sun. I do believe it is important to get sun, and I get it when I'm on my walks, but those days of kind of basking by the pool and baking, long gone, right? We know better these days. This video happened because you guys suggested it. So as you know, I'm always on the lookout in the comment section to see what interests you. So please, you know, thoughts or ideas for these summer months, let me know. Just leave it below. I will comb through, and if I see sort of a collective vibe going on where I can be of assistance and do a demo, I'd love to. You know, that's what this is all about. Tutorial Thursdays. They're so fun. I wish you a great week and weekend. I will see you next week. As I always say, go out, be bold, be blessed, be bronze. Until next time.